Thank you so much for joining me on this 3-part video masterclass to help you quit drinking and build the life of your dreams. The first video in this series went about visualizing your dream life and how to let your desire for change overhaul your desire for staying in your comfort zone. If we haven't met before, my name is Carolina and I'm the founder of Euphoric Alcohol Free, and I help women and men quit a vice that no longer serves them so that they can unleash their full potential and use their time and energy to design the life that truly lights a fire underneath their souls. The first step, I think, in quitting drinking is to let your dreams guide you instead of your fears. But so is the nitty-gritty work of changing your mindset so that you no longer desire drinking. There's so many mindset shifts that go into this, and tools and techniques to have alcohol be a non-issue in your life. First, let's go over some myths that might be standing in your way of living your best life. One of the biggest myths I believed was that only severe problem drinkers quit drinking. That if I were to openly reevaluate my relationship with alcohol, I was admitting to things like drinking at work, having handles of vodka stashed in my closet, or any number of behaviors that I just was not exhibiting in my life. I had a very complicated relationship with alcohol. But a lot of my drinking was what you would call normal, socially with friends, on the weekend to relax. Sometimes I definitely overdid it, but sometimes I didn't. Believing this held me so back because I didn't think I was even allowed to explore not drinking. I thought it would be a stigma on my reputation and my relationships to even bring up the fact that alcohol was not making me happy. And do you know what's crazy? The more that I've been doing this work, the more I'm learning about how common this issue is. Did you know that over 70% of drinkers drink more than they intend to? 70%. Another crazy statistic is that over 52% of Americans want to drink less. Now, I don't know about you, but that means that the majority of drinkers are not happy with their relationship with alcohol. This is literally the most common issue a drinker can face. And yet we're made to believe that if we question alcohol or we give it up or we take a break, that all of a sudden we will be labeled with a scarlet A. Now that's another myth that I want to dispel, that if you quit drinking, you have to label yourself an alcoholic. Now, I don't know about you, but I did not vibe with that word. I did not want to have anything to do with it. Did you know that the medical lexicon does not have alcoholic or alcoholism in it anymore? It's called alcohol use disorder, and it's diagnosed between mild, moderate, and severe. And let me tell you, the diagnosis for mild alcohol use disorder, the bar is so low that I could bet a majority of drinkers are going to be exhibiting signs of it. It's normal to drink more than you want to. It's normal to have a complicated relationship with alcohol where you want to drink less and you don't want to suffer from hangovers, but you keep doing this habit that, is in your comfort zone and it's what you've grown to do, and it's how you socially relax or have fun with your friends. Quitting drinking or taking a break is not an announcement to the world that you are an alcoholic or that you have a severe drinking problem. Things don't have to get bad enough to make positive, healthy lifestyle changes in your life. There's no other healthy behavior that gets the same kind of stigma drawn to it. Can you imagine if I told my friends that I was going to give up sugar, or that if I was going to stop eating fast food, or if I was going to work out more, that anyone would accuse me of having a problem? Of course not, because those are healthy behaviors in our life. And new studies are showing that there's just no safe amount of alcohol. And drinking less, or not at all, is one of the healthiest things you could do for both your mind and your body. There's no reason why that should have to be embarrassing. And there's no reason why alcohol should be such a taboo topic in our society. So I commend you because you are so brave to be willing to question it and the role of it in your life, and explore what it could feel like without drinking and growing into a version of you that doesn't even desire a drink anymore. Now that we got those myths out of the way, I want to focus on the mindset shifts that you need to be completely happy and successful with a desire to change your relationship with alcohol. Now, I truly believe that becoming ecstatic and evolving and growing and transforming your whole entire life is completely dependent on your mindset. And if you have a mindset that makes you feel like you're missing out, that you're deprived, or that you're different or a defect, it's not going to feel very good. How do you shift your mindset so that you have freedom from alcohol? First, there's things that you need to do to debunk the myth that alcohol brings you any benefits. Let's walk through this exercise together. Grab a journal and a pen, and I want you to write down the 5 top reasons that you believe you like drinking. So for example, my reasons would have been I like to relax with a drink, right? I like to come home on a Friday night and have some wine to relax from all the crazy stress of my job. Another reason of mine would be because I believe that drinking was fun. I thought that it improved most experiences and that I had fun with alcohol. Another one of my reasons would be that I felt like I needed to socialize with it, that everyone was drinking around me, and that I was a little shy and insecure on my own without any liquid courage, and that I needed alcohol to socialize. Another reason is because I thought it was treating myself. I thought it was rewarding me after a long day of being good and, working out and eating my vegetables and all this stuff, and that it was treating myself. The journey to change your mindset about alcohol all starts with how introspective you can be and start questioning all these beliefs that you have that may not really actually be true. For example, let's go back to one of the reasons that I noted in that I thought that drinking relaxed me. Okay, so maybe in the moment after a really long day, I have a glass of wine and I can finally kind of shut down all those to-dos. I probably drink a few glasses and wake up the next day with a slight or major headache and a little bit of shame and regret. In reality, did the alcohol relax me? Did it help me de-stress from the stressful things in my life? In reality, it actually just compounded my stress. Not only did I not actually solve any of the things that were stressing me out, but I woke up the next day even more stressed about it because now I have a hangover. I didn't actually do anything to relax, something that was self-soothing and healthy for myself and made me feel more loved the next day. I just took an easy route and did something that felt good in the moment, but it actually made me feel less relaxed over time. Now, I don't know about you, but if you ever drink for a few days straight, maybe on the weekend, I would wake up on a Monday morning so stressed out. I would have anxiety. I would feel ashamed about drinking like that. I would feel like I was completely off track on my diet and my fitness plan. I just felt like a complete mess and a complete loser. None of those things were relaxing me. Now, were they? So why did I believe that alcohol relaxed me? And if I really thought about it, could I give evidence to the fact that that just wasn't true, not in the long run? Maybe you could do something like this with your examples. Let's do another one of mine. Drinking is fun. Okay, so sure, drinking's fun. There's crazy nights, there's new conversations with friends, there's all this fun stuff. It's the highlight of a vacation, of all this stuff. Let's say that those are all the beliefs. Now, I don't know how many times that I could count that I've drank in my life, but I'm gonna guess it's in the tens of thousands. Let me look back at all those times that I drank. Were all of those times fun? Did I have memories that were almost ruined because of alcohol the next day, or just being ashamed of what I said or what I did? Let me think back to my bachelorette party, for example. Supposedly it was fun, right? And yet there was way too much alcohol involved that I spent most of the time feeling sick, off, uncomfortable, and just craving more alcohol because it was already such a big drinking weekend. In reality, it wasn't as fun as my mind made it out to be, and it wasn't the epitome of a good experience. It came with way too much baggage, way too many downsides to actually be fun. Now that I'm alcohol-free and I experience all these kinds of things without alcohol, I can see that I have so much more fun without it, because none of that negativity is associated with my fun, and I'm actually pushing myself out of my comfort zone to have fun outside of the confines of a drink. I mean, think of all the things you could do that are bigger and better than drinking wine on a Friday night and watching some Netflix. I mean, you could go roller skating with your kids. You could go hiking. You could go see a new foreign film. You could learn a new language. You could do all these things that are fun that have nothing to do with alcohol and actually make you feel pushed out of your comfort zone the next day and rewarded. Here's the thing. Most of our habits and our behavior are tied to what we feel we get rewarded in the moment. So most of the time we want to avoid any pain and get as much pleasure as we can. Now the problem with this is that most of the time the pleasure we're looking for is very, very short-lived. You can see this play out with so many different examples. Maybe it feels good in the moment to eat a bunch of chocolate cake, but it doesn't really give pleasure over a long time when you're trying to be a healthy individual. Maybe it feels good in the moment to drink alcohol, but it surely doesn't feel good over a long period of time to continually drink and let yourself down. Maybe it feels good in the moment to avoid a tough conversation with a loved one, but that not addressing it over time just makes it more and more painful. When you can switch your mindset to see that in the moment you're choosing drinking as a reward, but then really compounding the pain over time, you learn to value long-term contentment over this short-lived buzz. So one of the things that I would suggest to do is take all of the feelings that you believe that alcohol gives you and find other rewards that give you the same feelings but are healthier alternatives. For example, if you drink because you think it's fun, maybe you could find other activities that you used to love doing maybe as a child or that you've always wanted to try that could also be a new sense of fun without alcohol. If you drink alcohol to have a treat at the end of the day, maybe you could find a healthier alternative for that treat. Maybe it's getting a massage. Maybe it is some kind of delicious food treat or going out to dinner at your favorite restaurant. Maybe it's buying a new book or going to a yoga class. There's all these kind of alternatives that you could give yourself the same exact rewards that you thought you were getting from drinking, only that actually give you the long-term contentment too. In order to have these mindset shifts, you need to be ready to be very introspective. And I would recommend getting a journal and writing through your experiences as you test out the waters for the life without alcohol. Be ready to accept all the benefits because there are so many coming to you. Better sleep, a healthier outlook, more motivation to work out, craving healthier foods, feeling more connected with your loved ones as you realize that you don't need a drink to have fun or to be bubbly or to be a conversationalist, but you can just be yourself. Feeling the gratitude of waking up each morning without a hangover, feeling the confidence that you are actually accomplishing all of this spill out into other areas in your life. What other limiting stories have you been telling yourself that you can't do that now maybe aren't true, that you could do, that you could wake up early and train for that marathon, that you could wake up early and write that book all before work, that you could be a more present parent and more mindful and model the kind of behavior that, you wish to see for your children. Every day that you don't drink, I want you to do this exercise. It's called picturing the alternative. Picture the alternative of what that day would look like for you and the next day if you chose to drink. For example, let's say that I decided to not drink at a party and part of me feels a little left out and I'm not really sure about it, but I decide not to drink and I end up surviving the party, and the next day I wake up early, I do a yoga class with the sunrise, I make a healthy breakfast, and I'm ready to enjoy my Saturday and have a great day. Now let me picture the alternative of what that would have looked like if I drank. Let's say I go to the party and I decide I'm only going to have 2 drinks that night. I inevitably probably would have had more than that, and I would have woken up feeling pretty gross and horrible. I wouldn't have gotten up early and done yoga. I wouldn't have ate a healthy meal. I would have just been cursing myself in bed, ashamed that I did that to myself again. Now, every time you picture the alternative of what your life or days or evenings or weekends would look like without alcohol, you get to experience the immense gratitude of all this time and mental energy that you're freeing up by not choosing to drink. It motivates you to do the things today that will make you feel loved tomorrow. Think about it. When you drink and you wake up the next day with a hangover and you don't take care of yourself and you eat poorly and you don't sleep well and you don't handle your stress in a healthy way, the next day, the version of you that wakes up with all of that, and especially with a hangover, feels completely unloved by the past version of you, like they weren't looking out for you. Now imagine when you do the things today that will make you feel loved tomorrow. Today you decide to take care of that nagging to-do. Today you decide to work out. Today you decide to not drink. The next day you're going to feel so grateful for the past version of you and really build up your own self-trust and your own self-love. This is how self-esteem is built. When you do the things that you set out to do, you build up your self-esteem. And not only does it completely change your limiting patterns with drinking, but it spills over into all areas of your life. Use your journal to write down exactly how you want to feel each day and the things that you want to accomplish. Do you want to work out more? Do you want to eat better? Do you want to be more present with your children and your loved ones? Do you want to travel more? Do you want more adventure? Do you want to be more mindful in your life? Really write down what a perfect day would look like and use this visualization exercise to point you to where you want to go in your life. Listen really open and deeply to your inner guide. It's going to be telling you what direction to take and whether alcohol is truly serving you. If you're anything like me, maybe you've already taken a break from alcohol. That's what my first step was. But after a month off, I went back to drinking because I didn't think it was going to be permanent. And it wasn't very long that my inner guide was yelling at me that the drinking just wasn't serving me, that I felt so good on my break off, and that going back to alcohol was a big mistake. It was a mistake, but it was also a learning experience for me to be able to listen to my inner guide and decide, I'm going to follow their lead. I'm going to follow what that tiny inner voice is saying to me and take a leap of faith and take another long extended break from alcohol, which turned out to be forever, and discover who I could be without a drink in my hand. Because I believe that you are far more capable, competent, smart, and vibrant than the limits that alcohol has on your life. Journaling can be such a good tool to hear your own inner guide, point you in the direction for a life that will truly serve you and make you happy. All right, that's it for this masterclass, and I'm so thankful that you joined me. Please, please, please share a comment below, maybe one of the myths that you believe about drinking, something that you believe that alcohol brings you, that you're ready to start questioning if it's really true or not.